Yeah, I would say we speak the same language, especially in terms of football. And it's something that, I learn more as the season goes on. But even when I wasn't playing, I was still on the sideline with Coach Buster, during the game. So I was hearing all the play calls, starting to learn more and more how he thinks and how he understands. And it was, something that I got to learn originally when we were on Zoom calls when I was getting recruited here. We used to watch film and do whatever we could through transfer portal rules. I think it's just grown and developed. And, at this point, there are times where I'll get the formation signaled in and I'll know exactly what he's calling and things like that. It's just, the more I learn about him, the way he calls the game, and, the more time we spend together that, it just grows and gets better and we have a better understanding.
JT, I want to ask you, I remember earlier you were talking about doing all the Zoom calls, all the coaches around the country. Obviously, your background as somebody that studies football is well documented all the way back to sixth grade. What was it about Coach Monken, though? I mean, you talked to a lot of offensive gurus. You studied a lot of offenses. You probably could have played anywhere in the country. What was it about Monken that made you know that this was worth traveling across the country to play for him?
Yeah, so there were definitely a lot of great offensive minds I was able to speak to. There was definitely an instant connection. The thing I tried to do with most coaches was see how they call a game, take me through the offense you run, and, your kind of philosophy. And there's an instant, connection as soon as I watched the first game with Coach Monk on, I think my second Zoom call with them, first Zoom call with them. It was just something that he sees the field very similar to how I see the field. I think we both have very similar, kind of philosophy for how to attack a defense. And it was something that, I knew it was exactly, what was best for me.
When you look at the progress the offense has made as the season's gone along, where do you see it going with the number of returners that could be coming back for next season?
Yeah, there's a lot of talent on the roster, and there's guys that as fans, not many have seen yet. That people seen Arian Smith make one catch. Jermaine's growing a lot. You have a whole young group of O linemen that work every day. I've got to see him grow. Guys like Cedric Van Pran, see how they attack the game. I think you have a really good class of young guys that aren't just talented, but are also guys that, enjoy the game of football, and, they show up every day with a good attitude, and that, they're here to learn and get better. So it's something good to see, and something I think you'll get to see, as they grow. You'll see a lot of it next year.
Hey, JT, I wanted to ask you kind of a different question. Did you fly out here or drive? And when you did, when you were coming along the way, what was kind of some of the stuff you were thinking about in the car or the plane? Where'd you stop? Did y'all have masks on the whole time? What was that trip like?
I got here in June. I flew out here and I slept the whole plane ride, so I couldn't really tell you.
Okay. What was your immediate reaction, sort of 2-3 weeks in? Pandemic?
2 to 3 weeks in. I think as soon as I got here, just driving around, you see a lot of Georgia, everything, and that was from Atlanta all the way into Athens. Everywhere you go is Georgia. Everything is football here. And it's something I instantly fell in love with, I think the environment of just the entire state of Georgia, and this is my first time in the state of Georgia. It's something that fits me really well. And that is, there's so much support and community around Georgia football, as a whole. And it was something that instantly grabbed my attention, something that I instantly fell in love with.
Or JT, can you talk about your development since taking over at quarterback, in terms of how much of the playbook has been made open to you, and how much more freedom have you been given now that you've had the extra bowl practice?
I wouldn't say there's too much extra, in terms of freedom. It was something that instantly Coach Monken had told me on my first call that, made me want to come here, is that there wasn't really you don't have to develop the ability to do that. We want quarterbacks that can, play the game and, get us in the right play before the play is snapped. So I've always, every quarterback here since, the offense was installed, we have the ability to, verse a certain look check to something, or if we're in a certain play and, there's something that's stopping that play, get us in the right play. So it's always been there. I wouldn't say there's much, anything that's too new in terms of that and, what we're doing. But it's something that, we've always been able to do, get us in the right play. And we have the freedom to do that, before any play.
JT, I've heard a lot of talk about 2021 and everything. So I just wanted to ask you directly, what are your plans for next year? Have you, are you coming back?
Yeah, it's not, something I've honestly given too much thought to. This year's going by fast, and I'm focused week to week. South Carolina, I was focused on South Carolina. Missouri, I was focused on Missouri. Vandy, I was focused on Vandy until that was no more. And then since then, I haven't gone home since I've been in Georgia. I've been here. I was here through Christmas, here through Thanksgiving, and I've been here getting ready for the bowl. Since that Vandy week was over. So I really haven't given too much thought to anything. This week is Cincinnati, and then once the offseason comes, we'll, I'll be thinking about the offseason.
And JT Daniels, if you would, just clarify something for me, but you basically committed to Georgia sight unseen. You'd never been to the state, you'd never been to the school, just traveled, just decided, hey, that's where I'm going, just showed up with a backpack and clothes?
Coach Smart met my parents before he met me.
How did you go about that? Just to say, look, I've never even been to the state, but I'm going to go play ball there.
Yeah, location didn't mean anything to me. It was best situation, best team, best staff, and I found all three of those in one school. Did not matter to me where it was.
This is for JT and Todd. Given the way this season has transpired and the way this offense has kind of started to come together, the performances at South Carolina and Missouri, are you disappointed this is the last game? I mean, do you wish you had 4 or 5 more games to kind of see? Because it kind of still feels like this offense is in the development stage right now.
JT, you take that first.
Yeah, I do feel like we've been really hot. As of lately, I think a lot of young guys have matured, tremendously, from George to Jermaine, to Big Warren on the line. There's a lot of guys that have gotten a lot better, and I think you're seeing what that's looking like now. Obviously a little later than we would have hoped. I'd love to play with this team forever. It's an amazing team. I think there's great central leadership. There's a lot of great things to this team, but obviously that's not the case. For me, I'm just focused on giving, Cincinnati, the best we have. It is, as Coach Munkin said it a lot this week, and this is the last opportunity to play with this whole team. As much as I'd love to keep going and keep playing with these guys, this is the last one, so we're gonna go, give it everything we have.